I am Helice Bridges, Helice, like hell on ice, Bridges like a bridge builder. I am the founder of Blue Ribbons Worldwide. Our mission is to unite humanity through the power of love, one child, one community, one country at a time. And over the years, I just want to introduce to you the simple blue ribbon that we're going to be talking a lot about today, that actually in 60 seconds or less, we're able to end conflict, stop bullying, enhance health and vitality, and make dreams come true to heal our planet, just with this blue ribbon ceremony. So for all of you that are watching, and for Dana, who's looking on because she knows this ceremony very well, and we'll talk about Leap to Success and all the work that we do together. But for all of you, I just want you to know that I have a blue ribbon for you, and it says, "Who I am makes a difference." I want to honor you for being in your heart, for seeing what is good about you, and looking out and just being able to honor and respect and show love to the people around you, to build people up instead of put them down, to inspire people and let them know that who they are makes a difference and that dreams really can come true. I'm 82 years old now, and that at any age, we can, in fact, make the world better in 60 seconds or less, and just keep on doing the inner work. Would you all receive this ribbon, accept this gift? Yes? Thank you. May I have permission to place it on you? Ah, I do. Thank you. I'm placing it above my heart. You can see it on Dana right now. See how she has it above her heart? And I'll show you where I've got it. See that? It is tradition to place it above the heart. The heart tells the mind what to do. And tradition also is that I take the spark from my heart and put it in the ribbon. It is the sound that makes dreams come true. And the sound is and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Bing! And every time you hear a bing, you'll know that the child within us just got our dream. Tradition is, I also give you 2 extra ribbons to pay it forward, honor other people, and let people know that who they are makes a difference. So it is my privilege today to introduce my longtime friend, Dana Bristol-Smith. And Dana is the founder of Leap to Success, and which empowers women to find their voices and discover their personal power. Dana, we've known each other for how long? I don't know.
I think about 30 years.
30 years. And we met because, what were you doing then?
I was attending a church service that you were speaking at. That was the very first time that we met.
Oh, wow. And you know, the gift is, was I talking about the blue ribbon then?
Yes, you were.
So what was the impact that moment had? Because I know from there we just got glued to each other. We respected each other's work. Go ahead.
Well, I think at that time you were talking about going into classrooms and doing school assembly programs and helping kids know that they matter and helping kids know that they made a difference. And at that time, my son was in 4th grade.
Wow.
And I thought that that would be such a great thing for him to be part of, that I offered to volunteer and go into one of the classrooms with you. And that was at an elementary school in Oceanside. And my son, Chris, came also. And I think we helped out that day. And just from that point on, just loved you and loved what you were doing and saw how important it is for people to know that they matter, that they make a difference. And here we are 30 years later.
When you said 4 years old, Chris, and I went, what? You know, it's like the time goes by so quickly, doesn't it? At one day at a time, it's like a long day. But over time. So, you know, what I love is that how we connected heart to heart. And then when you founded Leap, which was that was from the time that you were working with also in schools, right?
Yeah, later, I mean, you really inspired me, and I later on started doing school assembly programs, and yeah.
And tell me what brought you to Leap, because before that you were doing Speak for Success, I believe, and now it's Leap to Success. So tell me what that transition was for you.
Yeah.
When was that light bulb moment?
In the early 1990s, I started my own company called Speak for Success.
Right.
I provided presentation skills training, and I worked with people who had to go out and speak on behalf of their jobs. So executives, salespeople, engineers, because as you know, and as a lot of people know, that one of the top fears that people have is public speaking,
Right.
because it puts us in the spotlight.
Hmm.
It brings up a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear of, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? And am I going to make a fool out of myself? It kind of puts a mirror up to all of the judgments that we have about ourselves.
Yeah.
So this fear, so I had been offering the Speak for Success programs for a number of years, and seeing that particularly for women who would go through the program, as they built more confidence, as they stopped listening to those negative voices inside of their heads, telling them that they weren't good enough, they weren't smart enough, or, who do you think you are doing this? When they let go of that, they could just be themselves, communicate confidently, feel confidence in themselves, and they'd get really good feedback on what they did. And it really got me thinking about, year after year, who are the women in our communities that not only need to build their confidence for their professional lives, but for their personal lives. And that led me to work with domestic violence survivors, women who had lost their voices, and in some cases almost lost their lives because of abuse, because of violence. Really the extreme form of when someone loses their confidence, what can happen? What can happen?
So the leap that I'm hearing is when you were with managers, we all have the same feelings inside. Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Do people respect me and love me? Am I doing it right? And it's for all of us, yes.
Yeah,
But I think the leap that you're talking about is all of a sudden when you went, wait a second, there is a whole area of society that if they knew, if they had the confidence, if they knew they mattered, imagine what they could do for the world. And so when Leap and Leaping Lucy, talk about Leaping Lucy for a minute, so we
sure.
can.
So Leaping Lucy represents, and you can see her on the bottom of my screen, that she represents women leaping from darkness to light. And here's another
Let me see.
a purple
Oh,
version of
oh,
Leaping
that's
Lucy with Leap to Success. So she's this image of forward motion
hmm.
and from darkness to light. And that really is what Leap to.
But I lost you. I lost your sound for a moment.
Oh, let's see.
There
Is
you go.
anything okay? Helping women to find that within themselves, that confidence to move forward, that confidence to speak and be heard, that sense of value and worth, and that, I matter. So
Yeah, keep talking.
yeah, the idea of the blue ribbon and who I am makes a difference. I just knew that that had to be part of what we were doing at Leap to Success. That had to be the fundamental information
When
for people
you
to
talk
know.
when you talk about taking a leap, right? Because it was a big stretch. I mean, you were doing one work, you were in the universities, you were teaching, you had your curriculum guide, your books, all of that was really about how to speak. And then when all of this opened up, I remember coming to your home. And for those that are thinking about, I have a dream, but what do I do? You did it so beautifully. And I just want to honor you for the way in which you think and how you bring your team together. At the beginning, you brought us into your home. Yes, what was about 4 or 5 of us, and talk about how'd you come to that and pick the women that were in your home, and what was your thinking at that moment? Because you do ask a lot of questions, and you you never do anything alone. You really engage everybody.
This was an idea. The idea for Leap to Success was an idea that I got in the middle of the night one night that I had to get out of bed and I had to write it down. And it was an outline for a 10-session program for women to build self-confidence. And public speaking was going to be a skill that they were going to develop through this process. And I was so excited by the idea because I hadn't seen anything like it. I know, and I had observed that, growth happens over time. You can't go to a workshop one day and expect to have your life look completely different the next day. You don't change in a day. The growth happens over time and it needs to be nurtured and sustained and encouraged and practiced and all of those things. And I just started sharing the idea out loud with people who I knew. I couldn't keep it inside.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to share it, and I had a great group of friends who were also, trainers or speakers or coaches, and you were one of those people that I wanted to share it with, and I didn't know what it would look like. I didn't know who needed to be part of it. I just needed to know that I just needed to share it out loud. And that's what I did. And, I would talk to someone, and I remember speaking to a friend named Sandy, and she said, "Oh, that's such a great idea. I need to introduce you to my friend Donna." And Donna was the perfect person to come in as a coach who had a background in social work and psychology. And, everybody came in and became part of this team and brought something unique. And I've learned so much from having people with different backgrounds, different experiences, different education, all be part of the team, because everyone has a unique contribution and something that, like a puzzle, comes together and creates this beautiful picture that I never could have created on my own.
What was so generous of you is you've done so much work on reaching out to people who really knew how to put structure together around a nonprofit, to learn the financial aspect of it. Yes,
Oh,
to
all different areas.
all of the different areas that I honor. I didn't do a lot of that, but would you were out in the front of making sure that you understood everything as you built this, and also the way in which the women came to you. Yes, you went out to the different agencies in San Diego. Mention a little bit about that and the process by which they you became partners.
Yeah. The it came from sharing it with friends. I got introduced to a woman named Gail who did PR work and marketing, and my friend Eric introduced me to Gail. I shared what I was doing with Gail. Gail said, "Oh, I need to introduce you to," and this at the time, Casey Gwynn, who was our former city attorney, who at that time was CEO of two organizations, the YWCA of San Diego County and the Family Justice Center. Both of those organizations working with victims of domestic violence. And Casey hears about the idea and is so excited and says, "Okay, when can you start? When can you do a pilot program?" And that was, I didn't know initially who the program was going to be for. What I learned and what I really wanted was I wanted it to meet where the greatest need was for it. And that's what I believe is why the domestic violence survivors were the very first audience for it, because I think the greatest need is there.
What I loved about this, because we were engaged in asking them questions and interviewing have the right, I think it was the right 10 women at the beginning. Is that correct? And probably the same now. But in that 10 weeks, I mean, the women that graduated from that are now a big part of LEAP, speakers and trainers who were actually victims of domestic violence or alcoholic or homeless or whatever. Yes. And in those 10 weeks, with your program, the design of your program, I think it was transformational leadership at the beginning, which is what I've been a part of teaching a part of that. But then you went to leap to confidence, yes? And why don't we take a couple moments and talk about, well, let me just say one thing. One of the great gifts that you have is bringing people together. When we went on retreats and we got mud all over us, and we went swimming and we meditated and we had a lot of fun, but we also sat around and you would put out a concept on a whiteboard or on a wall or whatever, and gave us all a chance to interact and talk about that mission statement and how it was that we were going to get there. And we really didn't know. It was just a vision for the future, which allowed us to have fun, yes, and get massages and do all the wonderful things in mud baths, and at the same time just sit back and not have to know anything, but had a vision and a passion to take your idea to build confidence in just anybody, and in this case that niche market, and it flourished. So why don't you tell everybody what it felt like to be in those encounters, those times, and what came out of it? Because Leap to Confidence came out of the initial transformational leadership, I believe. Is that correct? And then tell us where we are now with all of that and who you're engaged with.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Transformation Leadership was the very first program that we started with. We did the pilot back in 2008, and you've been a part of every single Transformation Leadership. We've now delivered that program 10 times. And it's a leadership development program for women and public speaking development program. And the women do become speakers and leaders and business owners and authors, and their goals and their dreams come to fruition because they have the core belief in themselves. They have that core belief in who they are.
And what you do that's so magical is, after you, like you say, it's not overnight success. It's like moment by moment we all get to know each other from the inside out. The trust level is there. There's nothing left out. We can talk about anything, and everybody has in common that they didn't know who they were, and they got trapped into a circumstance in their life that maybe shut them down, and with no light at the end of the tunnel. And all of a sudden they can see the light, and with the communication skills that you teach, so the Leap to Confidence came out of transformational leadership. And now, how many of you graduated in that now?
Well, the Leap to Confidence program is a 6-week program that's offered at no cost, which all of our programs to women who are overcoming trauma, domestic violence, homelessness, all of our programs are offered at no cost. And today we're offering both on Zoom and in person. So that's been a blessing from the pandemic, is that we figured out how to deliver the programs online on Zoom. Close to 3,000 women have gone through our programs. We've just started the 100th Leap to Confidence program last week in downtown San Diego. So kind of a full circle moment for us, and to hit such a huge milestone. This is also leap year, so we're going to have a celebration on Leap Day to celebrate the 100th program and to celebrate women and their achievements. So all of this, from sharing an idea and, more than that, really meeting a need in our community that hadn't been met before. And now we are training others in other parts of the country to deliver the Leap to Confidence program through a trainer certification program. And we now have licensees in Nashville, Tennessee, in Atlanta, Georgia. We're talking to an organization in Texas where we've got it's spreading.
So
And
I remember at one of our retreats that we were talking about in the future. God, that was what Leap is. Well, how many years now? I want to say 13, but I might be way
we
off.
started 2008 as a volunteer project, so 15 years.
15 years. So when we were all together, we were all in circles and we were just doing exercises. And it was like, well, how can we duplicate this? And that when you think about what it takes to really design something that has consistency, that is proven results, that you're raising a lot of money because people are attracted to Leap to Success because they can see that it is solid, that the work works, and now people are coming towards you and going, wait, we want that. And you now how to certify your trainers. And it takes how long to be a certified trainer?
It's a process. It takes about 4 or 5 months to go through.
But a lot of the people that have been in it before from the very beginning, actually, from transformational leadership and gone through the beginning, that for years and years they came back as volunteers and then they became speakers. Well, really, they became speakers almost automatically. And then I mean, the difference is profound. A lot of people may not think that you could transform a life of somebody being in a park, being drunk, being raped, being abused that way, and all of a sudden they have a whole new life. And it takes the love and the support and the nurturing, but it takes systems and structures to be in place. Yes.
Yeah. And I don't think that there is all of the sudden. I think that's a misnomer. Because the type of life changes that you're talking about, the type of healing and recovery take time, take support from professionals, take counseling support, take community support, take individual commitment, and that individual being surrounded by people who are supportive of the new life, or what that person aspires for themselves. And a lot of times that takes someone leaving a relationship, moving to a new area, not having a foundation, not having family near them, not having those support systems. So for a lot of people, we really become a community of support, because not only do we offer the programs at no cost, but we offer ongoing support through something called the Empowerment Circle that all of our graduates are invited to attend for as long as they want. And we offer them twice a week, on Zoom. And we have women who have participated, not only here in San Diego, but from around the country, from Canada, from Pakistan, from India, from around the world, because as women move to new locations, they take us with them. And through the beauty of technology, on a smartphone or on a computer, they can be part of the Leap to Success community.
And we have a few minutes to complete, but what endears to me is every time I show up, every single time you have an event, and I don't think I've missed one. I don't even remember if I've missed anything, because it's just so fulfilling to be able to look and see people that we've worked with over the years, that they're still there, that they're giving back to new people, that it's just a moment in time where, like you say, let me just say this: the blue ribbon I always say this unzips the energy. It's almost like we're all locked in a space that we're not enoughness. And that was me too. And then the moment somebody feels that they are enough and they have a place where they can come to and reinforce that over and over and over again and be authentic with it, uh, that's not something that's available in most places in the world. You know, in corporations, you just want to come in and look good. You know, you're dressing from the outside and there's no inside. And but when we go from the inside out with Leap to Success and build confidence and empowerment and so forth, I have this blue ribbon for you specifically. And I have a blue ribbon for you, and it says, "Who I am makes a difference." Let me take a deep breath because I want to honor you for there's a resilience, and you might be in the question mark, but you always know who to reach out and ask for help. You always know how to engage people and attract people because there is something inside of you that they have confidence around you. You can see the vision and they're attracted like what are those bugs to the light, you know? Just like I want to be around that light bulb right there. That person who is that has the roots and the wings and the joy. And every time I come, there is a package that you give us, and it's so pretty to look at. There's food outside. I mean, it's so gorgeous the way you present everything, and it's who you be. Would you accept this gift from me?
Yes, I would be delighted.
May I have permission to place it on you?
You already did.
I know we're doing it virtually. But that's the genius of Zoom, yes. And inside of the ribbon is a community of cheerleaders that are right here. And we say, we're talking about empowerment. We say, in order to get the cheerleaders or people cheering you on for your dreams, take the spark from our heart and put it in the ribbon. It's the sound that makes dreams come true. And the sound is and a one and a two and a three. Let's do it together. Bing! It's a great silly sound, but with laughter is heals people and we lighten people up. But everything we are doing is structured and and commitment is inside of that, and resilience and unstoppable pleasure. And what would you like to say to everybody right now to complete this moment in time together to leave us with?
Sure. I think what I can leave you with is that if you have an idea that wakes you up in the middle of the night or that doesn't let you sleep, get out of bed and write it down. Because I think the ideas, I think the really good ideas come when we least expect them. And we need to pay attention to them because I think our minds are very busy with a lot of chatter throughout the day and a lot of the have-tos of what we have to do. And that when we get quiet is sometimes when the most powerful and most beautiful ideas come to us, and it's up to us to listen.
Take a moment and just be present for waking up in the middle of the night or jotting down anything that comes through you, and then bring people together and act, and bring your teams together so that you can make that dream come true. Nobody does it alone. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you, please.
Sure. Well, visit our website, leap2success.org, or reach out to me directly, Dana, D-A-N-A, at leap2success.org. And we're on all the social media channels. I'm on LinkedIn, so feel free to connect.
So we'll put that in so that everybody has that information. And to get in touch with us, it's Blue Ribbons, BLUERIBBONS.org. Just email us or at Sparky, SPARKY, at Blue Ribbons, BLUERIBBONS. I say S at the end. Please don't leave that out. It comes to some other crazy place. BlueRibbons.org. And we're on all the social media and all those platforms as well. And I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me in 30 seconds. Honor me with a blue ribbon.
Oh, well, Sparky, I have a blue ribbon that says "Who I am makes a difference." I just happen to have it here.
Oops.
And
Just lost us. Where am I? Let me go back. There I am. Okay, go.
I have a blue ribbon that says "Who I am makes a difference." And I'd like to honor you because you are the #1 difference maker. You came up with this idea that came out of, I know, a sense of loneliness that you had, a sense of loss that you had, and you didn't really know what your purpose was. So you stepped out of your own pain and you reached out to others to let them know that they mattered, that they made a difference in the world, and that brought joy to you, that brought warmth and love to your heart. I think that fueled you. And I don't think you've gone a day where you have not done that since that original time back in 40 or so years ago from today. So I honor you for reaching out and making someone else's day brighter, and in the process, reaching millions of people. So thank you for being the #1 difference maker.
I love that so much. A lot of us don't know how to ask for love or ask for what we want. And I don't do that very often, but every once in a while I go, I could use some of that juice. We can give it, we got to receive it. So I'm going to take a picture of both of us. So smile and go bing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, bing, or money or whatever you do, or leap.
Bing.
That's too fun. I love you. We'll send you this the link to it so you can send it out, and we'll probably post it in a couple weeks. All right.
Okay.
Blessings. I adore you. Goodbye. It's amazing.
Thank you, Sparky. That was fun.